Okay, you are live. It says we are live. I'm live. So I'm on here because we are in the Single Mom Prayer Challenge. Let me load my other device to make sure that you guys can hear me. It says we are live. There we go. Also, so I can see your comments if you guys make any comments. Oh, yay! Thank you, Jeanette and Yadi. Thank you so much for watching and coming on live. This is day 2. My name is Bess Parks. I am the single mom of 2. I have a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old. You are here in the day two of the challenge, of the Single Mom Prayer Challenge. That's what we are doing today. So yesterday we talked about some personal things that we need to start with us when it comes to prayer. So we start with us so that we can pray better for other people. If we are coming from a better place from within ourselves, then it's easier for us to pray for our, especially our children. I'm gonna just go there because there are immediate people that receive from us the things that we have, and they're the ones that receive from us immediately. So I'm going to start with our children, but we have to do better for ourselves internally. And I'm talking, this is self-love. So self-love is part of prayer. And that's the things that whatever's going on the inside in your mind, your heart, and whatever's going on inside your body as well will be affected. Your mind, your heart, and your soul. That's us. That's what makes up who we are. Our soul makes up actually who we are, but the things that come out of our mouth are controlled from our mind and our heart. So let's just get into it so that I don't run over today. So we're in day 2 of the challenge. My name is Bess. I'm welcoming you to the challenge, those that are live, those that are going to watch the replay. The replays are going to be in the guide section of the Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining live. The replays for these sessions will be in the guide section. If you can't find it in discussions, you can go to guides and watch the replay there. It does take about 30 minutes to an hour for the video to allow me to, or to allow the replay through Facebook. But today the topic is going to be, hi, Juby's Playroom. How are you? Thank you for joining live. The topic today is the spirit of prayer. So the spirit of prayer is where you're going to get wisdom from. So it's not spooky. It's not a scary thing. To make it plain, what the spirit is, your spirit, our spirit that we have, that all of us are born with, is where your wisdom comes from. So, hi, Keely Marie. Thank you so much for joining live. Are you connected to that? Are you connected to your spirit? Did you know that your spirit is where your wisdom comes from? How can you tell? How can you tell if you're connected to your spirit? How do you get connected to your spirit? I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to sound very simple. It's going to sound very simple, and almost it's just going to sound really simple, but it really is this simple. Read one chapter of the book of Proverbs for 31 days, and you will gain some wisdom. Mind you, it's not like you read the book of Proverbs and you come out of reading the book of Proverbs and you know everything. It's going to be a process just like everything else. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be in phases, because how that works is that, we need to heal our hearts. we need to heal our hearts in order to fulfill our purpose as single moms, which is, raising and shaping our kids. So by gaining wisdom, aka the connection to our spirit, we will be led to healing whatever heart wounds that we have. So whatever's in your heart will come out of your mouth. So if you're aware that things just come out of your mouth really harsh, really, hurtful, mean, all of that, I'm telling you, I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. Where the stuff that came out of my mouth was very mean and hurtful, uh, and my mind was not focused on being loving and kind, and didn't think I needed any healing, didn't think that, I thought I was fine. But as I got older and as I was raising my children, I started realizing some of the things that were happening because I was seeing the reaction of my children to me. Um, Something I'm going to share this. I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I'm going to share this. One day, my daughter was in the kitchen. I don't know how old she was. She was maybe, I'd say she had to be maybe 6 or 7. So she jumped up on the counter, to get a glass out of the cabinet because she's not tall. She wasn't tall enough to get one, standing flat footed on the ground. Well, she knocked one of the glasses out of the cabinet and it hit the floor and broke. She was so terrified. I heard it break, so I jumped up to see what was going on, put some shoes on and went in the kitchen, and she was terrified. She had this terrified look on her face and was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And I was just like, "Oh my God, what have I been doing to her? What have I been doing to her?" And then, of course, my mind goes to, what have I been doing to my son, her older brother? I was like, am I that mean that she would freak out over an accident and be afraid of what I was going to say? Because, it wasn't like I was going to hit her, because she dropped the glass, but I'm sure it had something to do with what was coming out of my mouth. So I realized, hey, I need some heart healing. I realized something was going on with me. I didn't have a name for it. I found out about heart healing back in 2020 and put a name to it. I had already been praying about being a good mom and doing the right things and making the right decisions for my children. I had already been doing that. So I was kind of already working on my heart, but didn't know that it was coming from my heart. It wasn't until 2020 that words were given to what was happening and how things were changing in my life. So I myself have read through the book of Proverbs and done a 31-day challenge. And I thought my first time doing that was last year. And I was like, just reading the book of Proverbs, really, it's going to change you. What's it going to do? You're just reading it. But I went ahead and did it anyway, even though I wasn't really expecting anything. I didn't know what to expect from it. So I didn't have any expectations. Let me just say that I didn't have any expectations. I just did it because I wanted more wisdom, and I was trying to find more information, more education. I wanted to make better decisions. And this was something that was presented to me as a way of learning how to make better decisions. But what came out of that wisdom challenge that I did was that I realized and got words to what was going on with me. And I've been in, my heart healing phase, or my heart healing, the part of my life where my heart was being healed from past wounds for probably about 10 years. It started when my sister passed away in 2007. It was a sudden death. Nobody was expecting it. She was not sick. At 45, she went to sleep and did not wake up. And I found her. I found her, and But at that time, I found her, I was okay. In my spirit, it was just like, I don't know, I was just okay. I understood why it had to be me to find her. And it was the peace that I saw on my sister's face. Thank you so much. It was the peace that I saw on my sister's face. My sister had a brain aneurysm back in the 80s. And the when they went to go operate on it, it burst on the table. So they had to put a metal clip in her head. That they told her she was going to just have to have it for the rest of her life. That metal clip was enough metal that if she went through an airport, it would set off the detector. So she had to live with that for the rest of her life. And it was after she passed that I realized, and I became so weak and did not have a fight, that things started changing and happening in my life. I realized that I deserved better than where I was, better than the relationship that I was in. I had just broken up with the kid's dad. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you my backstory. I had just broken up with the kid's dad. We had been breaking up and getting back together for about 7 years. I was done. I was done. I was like, this is not working. We're two different people trying to make it work, and it's we're clashing against each other so much because we're just two different characters, two different value systems. There were some similarities. I think, truthfully, we were attracted to each other's pain. But I was ready for something to change. So I left. I left, and also, not to mention, other things were going on, outside relationships on his part, that I was broken. I was very broken by the time I got out of that relationship. And I took the time to allow healing to take place. And in me doing that, so things changed greatly. So this is how my 2007 went. I broke up with the kid's dad one week. The following week, my sister passed away. The week after that, I lost my job. This is how my change in the life that you see before you had come about, was from these things happening. But at this point, I was just done. I was tired. I was worn out. Um, I wanted to do better for my kids. My daughter was 2, and my son was 6 or 7. My kids are about 5 years apart. And so I wanted to do better for my kids. I realized I needed and deserved to have better, and I wanted to be in a better place, better mindset. I still had not realized that I mean, I realized I had a broken heart because, I thought things were going to go differently, but I realized that was there, but I thought it was just that situation. But it turns out that it was multiple situations that happened in my past that I never healed from. And so that came up when my daughter broke that glass, broke that glass. And that was like in 2012, that I believe it was 2012 that happened. So that was years later that it was coming back up, and I was realizing something needed to be fixed in me, that I needed to do some type of work. This is when I think Oprah was starting to pull away from doing TV shows and starting her own station and all that stuff. And she was changing some things, but I was watching reruns of Oprah, and then I realized, hey, we are what Ayana Van Sant said was, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I was like, that's really what this feels like, because there's something on the inside of me that felt very different than what was going on the outside of my life. So that's my story, kind of in a nutshell, But I believe that gaining wisdom is AKA our connection to our spirit. It will lead us to healing of our heart wounds. And whatever's in your heart comes out of your mouth. So we all have heart wounds that shape our lives, become our beliefs because of these things that happened in our past that we never addressed. So it's our responsibility to do the work, um, and which is work through these heart wounds, find out where they come from, why they're there. Is it true? A lot of times, the wounds that we have come from lies that we've received into our spirits, and once it's received into the spirit, it goes to the mind and it becomes a belief. So a lot of these things happen in our lives, that are unpleasant. um I'm not going to call them bad because, well, I'm not going to call them bad, but there is good and bad in every situation. There's good and bad in every situation. Pray for God to show you the good in the situation, because everything comes together to work together for the shaping of your life, the shaping of your mind, the shaping of your life. And our lives have to be shaped so that we can do better for our children, especially as single moms when it's just us. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it probably often: stop being so hard on yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. You are one person. You could do the best that you can. And part of the best that you can is to take care of yourself and do some self love, do some inner healing of your heart. Pray for that inner healing. Pray for the connection of you to your spirit, which is going to be wisdom to make wise decisions for yourself and for your children. Um, you know, that's what we want to do. We want to do that. We always want the best for our children, but you can't just hope for it and just think it's just going to magically drop on you. You have to do something for it. And that's part of the main reason of this single mom prayer challenge. We need to pray intentionally and not just random stuff, you know, not just random stuff. Be detailed, be specific about what you want out of, what you want and what you need. And I'm telling you, this challenge of reading a book of Proverbs for 31 days is a perfect thing to do. Um, you can it's amazing the change in the things that you see that happens. You'll see in the book of Proverbs there's the good and the bad, the good and the bad. It tends to go back and forth like that in the book of Proverbs. And choose a translation that helps you to understand better. Choose a study Bible. Choose a study Bible. Choose a Christian Standard Translation. There's different translations. I grew up on King James, and I do remember and have a lot of the King James, the verses that I know from the Bible. I memorized them from King James as a child because I grew up in church. But for me, some of the study Bibles and the Life Living Bibles, those are the ones that have opened up my mind and given me a better understanding of what is being said. Sometimes the translation gets jumbled up in the thuses and the thous, that are in the King James version, but you can always look at another version and get a better understanding of that. And there's so many things that you can get on the Bible app. You can get different versions on the Bible app, which is on your phone. So, which means you could do this on your lunch break. You can, download it from Audible, download a Bible version from Audible and have it read it to you as you're driving to work. Audible is something that I have picked up in 2020, and I didn't think I'd ever hearing somebody read to me. But being a mom and a single mom, you're very busy with your kids' schedule, your schedule, and trying to be social with your friends and your family and everything. Sometimes that's the best you can do, and I've gained a lot doing that. So as I was saying before, it's our responsibility to do the work and work through our heart wounds. And reading the book of Proverbs will help you and open up and show you where you need to do better. Um, there's some comments that are coming through. Um, and somebody said, I can look over here. Somebody said it, and this, this came from someone in the Facebook group, and she's like, "Whew, amen," and that's true. It's true. This is where we want to be. We always want to make good decisions for our children, and the book of Proverbs is the book of wisdom in the Bible. So know this, that we are not meant to be perfect. We are meant to be whole and healed. I got those words and that definition from Jane Fonda when she did a master class through when Oprah had her master classes that were on TV, and she mentioned that, and that really gave me a good understanding, gave me words to what it is. We're not supposed to be perfect. There's only one perfect person that ever walked on earth that there's record of, and that's Jesus Christ. So we're not him. We're not perfect, but that also doesn't give us a license to go out and do whatever we feel like doing. We need to choose and make wise decisions and better decisions, good decisions, and we need something to help us do that. So the book of Proverbs is that. It will um, open up and show you some of your heart wounds, show you where you may need to do some work. And then once you know where you need work, then go find information for places where you can do this work. Like I said, I'm going to put a resource page up, like I do at the end of every session, is what I've been doing. So I'm just gonna say that it's gonna happen because I do it all the time. I'll put up a resource page on Friday and leave it there through Tuesday, and it has books that are on there that you can buy, the connection to the free Audible book where you get one free book a month, the link for that, and some other things on there that if you need some areas where you need some help, there's some books there. There's even a counselor that you can reach out to that is a relationship counselor. Um, so she can help you with your relationships with your children, or any type of relationship. She can help you with any type of counseling that you need. So if you find that you need some help with figuring out how do I get out of this, or how do I help myself, it's okay to go and get some help, some outside help, to give you some guidance and talk through situations. So know that we're not perfect. We're meant to be whole and healed. There's us as single moms, we want to teach our children from a place of wisdom and healing. We want to teach our kids from a place of wisdom and healing. We want to have a better understanding of ourselves so that we could teach our kids better ways of doing things through love and through patience and kindness. Yes, we have to discipline our kids. I'm not saying don't discipline your kids. But yes, you have to discipline them, but discipline them from love, and in a way that they understand their discipline. My kids think I play favorites, and I guess that's just something that's a sibling thing. There seems to be no way to get around that. It will come out no matter how you love your kids. I love both my kids very much. And I keep telling them, you are two different people, and you're a boy and a girl. So two different understandings as well. So, and I really understand the differences between men and women having a boy and a girl. And I see thought processes are totally different, and you're born that way. You're born with a thought process of a woman is totally different from a thought process of a man. Um, and that's just the way we're created. And that's something we have to accept and learn to communicate in a way that the other person understands, and love in a way that the other person understands, male or female. We want to raise our kids from a place of healing, and not a place that's a broken heart. Because if we raise our kids from a broken heart, then we'll raise our kids and bring up another us. And if we weren't too pleased with our past, you're recreating the same thing. You know, you're recreating and reshaping the same thing to go with your children. And you're going to look at your child and be like, oh my gosh, you're me all over again. Um, but just know this, it is not too late. Don't give up. Never give up on your children. Um, don't give up, and don't be hard on yourself. You didn't know. You didn't have the knowledge of what to do. So it's okay. But now you do. He's like, hey, I can get out of this. I can find new wisdom. I can find some way to make better decisions. I can find a better way to communicate with my children, a better way to love them, and know that it's never too late. We just have to be willing to change. Change is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, and at times we run away from it and shy away from it because we don't like being uncomfortable. But change is necessary, and it will happen whether you want change or not. Change just happens, you know. But wouldn't it be nice to choose, and be ready for change? That, to choose to be ready for change, that would be a better place to be. Like, okay, I know things change in life, but let me be ready for that. So taking in information when you don't see that you may necessarily need it, but it's something that you want to know, is a good thing. Sometimes things come to you, and tests and trials come to you to make you stronger, to teach you something, or a lesson, and to grow you and to bring you into a better um, version of yourself that has learned a lesson that you could pass on to your children, pass on to other people in your life. So it's never too late. Be willing to do the work, and know that shaping a life is important. We help to shape our children's lives with the things that we say, the more so the things that we do. They watch our actions and are more affected by our actions more than they're affected by what comes out of our mouth, because they're watching us all the time. Even if they look like they're not watching us, they're watching us. They're watching to see what we're doing. They're watching. My daughter is in the other room. She's in the other room, but she knows what I'm doing. She knows I'm in here doing a live. She's paying attention to that. Mom's doing a live. She knows I got the Single Moms Club, and the Single Moms Level Up on Instagram and Facebook pages. She knows these things, but she's watching me to see what happens. To see how things go. She sees me mail out the single mom kits, when people participate, and I get to give and mail out these single mom queen kits to people. She sees all of that. She sees when you do the things that you do for other. Your children see when you don't take care of yourself. They see you wear yourself down. To them, it's like, okay, that's what I need to do. That becomes a part of who they are. They learn from what we do more than what we say. So if your children see you never take care of yourself, they won't either. If they see you never do anything for yourself, they won't either. That's the way we're raising them. That's what they see on a daily basis, and they see that that's not what you do. So know that they pay more attention to what you do. I know I'm repeating myself because it's important. They pay more attention to what you do and how you do it than they do with our words. So I mentioned the self-awareness checklist. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the group. I was going to do it last night, but got sidetracked because I had to go pick up my daughter. And I'm going to put the self-awareness checklist back into the group. I'm going to drop it back into the Single Moms Club so that you can check off, things about yourself so that you're aware of who you are and where you may need to work on yourself. A lot of the checking off tends to come from what people say about us. And it's like, is that what people say about us? And then what you expect of yourself, or what you think about yourself. So do it twice. Do one and check off what people say about you, and do another one checking off what you believe about yourself. Look at the differences between the two, and know that that what matters is what you believe about yourself, not what other people say about you. Because what you believe about yourself is what's reflecting out to other people, including your children. So sharing, I would love for you guys to start sharing in the group. Share your takeaways of what you thought about the session today or yesterday. Let's start a discussion about, and sharing that. You could be helping another single mom that may be having the same thing, or maybe giving, maybe giving an answer to another single mom, or giving some aha moments to another single mom. So I would love for us to share. That's what makes this group special, and makes it more alive, and makes it more helpful to me and to other people. It's not just me giving out information to you. I would like for all of us to give our takeaways. And if you don't know how to go live, just go into the comments, what's on your mind. You know how it says what's on your mind in the group. Click that and type in, day one takeaways, or day two takeaways, or my takeaways. And then at the bottom, it will have the little picture, and it will have a red camera. Click in that area, click the red camera, and it will tell you, go live. And you click that blue button, and then it will tell you when you go live. And just, speak to the camera. This is a place where it's a private Facebook group for a reason. So nobody's here to judge you. Nobody's going to bully you. You're just going to help somebody else by sharing your takeaways and your aha moments through this. So all I have to say and all I have to ask is, what are you going to do today? What are you going to do today? I'm going to drop the checklist into the group, the self-awareness checklist. And I'm also going to challenge you to read one chapter of Proverbs for 31 days to gain some wisdom, some insight, and start healing your heart. If you feel that you want to do better, or want to know if you're doing things correctly, if you want to learn how to make good decisions, that's what you do. It's that simple. I know it seems very simple, but do it. And I'm telling you, things will start to change. It's happened to me. I know it can happen to you, because I'm nobody special. I'm just, an average person, and so I know if it happens for me, it can happen for you too. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day 3. Invite a single mom that you know would help benefit from this single mom prayer challenge. Of course, pray. Pray. That is the whole point of this challenge. Pray about it. If you should do these things that I'm suggesting, pray about it, and do that, so that you can get a connection to your spirit that will give you wisdom. So good night. I will see you guys tomorrow, day 3. I will drop that that self-awareness checklist in there. It's going to be a Google Drive link, and so you can download it and print it out and check it off. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. We did good. I did good today. I didn't go too far over, and I'll see you all tomorrow. # single moms level up. Bye. Much love.